Have you ever felt like the world sees you as a puzzle it can't solve? Like no matter how much you give, how deeply you care, or how clearly you see others, people still struggle to understand you. Why is it that INFJs, some of the kindest, most insightful, and most intuitive individuals, are often misjudged, taken for granted, or even resented? This isn't about personality quizzes. This is about the hidden reality of being an INFJ, the truth that few people talk about. Today, we expose why INFJs are often targeted, drained, and misunderstood, not because we are weak, but because we are powerful in ways most people don't recognize. And more importantly, we uncover the strength that lies within you, the quiet force that makes INFJs unstoppable once they embrace their true nature. So if you are an INFJ, or if you know someone who is, pay attention. This might just explain everything. If this resonates with you, subscribe, like, and drop a comment below. Let's build a space where INFJs can be seen, understood, and empowered, where we no longer have to explain ourselves, but instead own who we are. 1. The weight of rarity. The double-edged sword of being different. INFJs make up less than 2% of the population. That means, for every 100 people you meet, maybe one will truly understand how you think and feel. Now, imagine living in a world where you speak a different emotional language, where your depth is often dismissed as too intense or too serious. Society celebrates those who blend in, those who follow the expected path. But INFJs, we don't just stand out, we redefine the space we enter. And that uniqueness, it comes at a price. INFJs often become targets of suspicion, envy, and even resentment. Why? Because when people encounter something they don't understand, they do one of two things. 1. Try to control it. INFJs' deep insight into people's emotions can make others feel exposed. Some will attempt to manipulate or overpower us because they fear what we might see. 2. Try to destroy it. When control fails, the next instinct is rejection. INFJs are often shut down, misunderstood, or alienated, not because we are weak, but because our existence challenges the status quo. But here's the truth. The very thing that makes INFJs misunderstood is also what makes them extraordinary. 2. Empathy as a magnet for manipulators. INFJs don't just listen. We absorb. We don't just understand emotions. We feel them as if they were our own. And in a world where so many are starved for genuine connection, that kind of energy is intoxicating. But here's the dark side. Emotional vampires can sense an INFJ from a mile away. These manipulators thrive on our empathy. They latch onto us, seeing us as a safe place to unload their burdens. At first, it feels like they need us, that we're helping, but over time, the cycle becomes clear. They pour their struggles onto us, expecting us to fix them. They make us feel guilty for setting boundaries. They drain our emotional reserves, leaving us exhausted, too worn out to carry our own burdens, and then comes the breaking point. The moment when we, finally, for once, ask for the same kindness in return. And what happens? silence, or worse. You're being too sensitive. You're overreacting. Why are you making this about you? INFJs give and give, but who gives to them? 3. The war between idealism and cynicism. INFJs don't just see the world as it is, we see it as it should be. We believe in kindness, in justice, in the idea that people can grow, evolve, and become better versions of themselves. But that belief, that hope, it makes us a threat. Because most people don't want to change, they've accepted the status quo, even if it's built on cruelty, corruption, and complacency. They cling to it because it's comfortable. And when an INFJ questions that, when we ask, why do we have to do things this way, we're not met with open minds. We're met with ridicule. You're so naive. Dismissal. That's just how the world works. Silencing. Just accept it and move on. Because hope is dangerous to those who have given up. INFJs. We carry a kind of hope that forces people to confront the parts of themselves they've buried. Some will admire it, others will fear it. And they'll do anything to snuff it out. 4. The burden of seeing through lies. INFJs have a gift and a curse. We don't just listen to words, we read between them. We notice the subtle shifts in tone, the flicker of hesitation in someone's voice, the tiny cracks in a carefully constructed mask. We know when someone is pretending to be happy. We sense when a person is lying, even if they believe their own deception. We see the truth people refuse to admit, to themselves and to the world. And here's the problem. The world runs on deception. Workplaces thrive on office politics. Friendships are often built on convenience rather than authenticity. Relationships can survive on illusions for years. Most people depend on these facades to function. But when an INFJ walks in, quiet, observant, seeing everything, we become a silent threat, not because we call them out. Often, we don't. Not because we try to expose them, that's not our way, but simply because we exist, because we see them for who they truly are. People feel exposed, and that makes them uncomfortable. So, they push us away, dismiss us, or turn against us. Because nothing terrifies a liar more than someone who sees the truth. 5. The INFJ's silent struggle. Who heals the healer? INFJs are the ones people turn to when they need comfort, wisdom, and understanding. We're the ones who listen deeply, who offer guidance, who sit with others in their darkest moments without flinching. But when we are the ones who need help, silence, you're the strong one. You can handle it. You always know what to do. Figure it out. You're lucky you don't have real problems. It's as if the world has decided that because we are capable of holding others' pain, we must not have any of our own. INFJs internalize this pressure. We convince ourselves that our struggles are less valid than others. That asking for help is burdening people. That if we fall apart, there will be no one there to catch us. So, we suppress, we stay silent, we keep giving, until one day, we realize we're empty. But here's the truth. Even healers need healing. Even strong souls deserve support, and setting boundaries isn't selfish. It's survival. 6. The INFJ's path to power. How to protect yourself. The world may try to break INFJs, but here's the truth. We are not victims. We are warriors of light in a world that fears truth, but even warriors need armor. So how do INFJs protect themselves without losing their essence? 1. Set boundaries without guilt. Repeat after me. I can't take this on right now. Say it. Mean it. Repeat it. You are not responsible for saving everyone. Your energy is sacred. Protect it. 2. Find your people. Not everyone will understand you. That's okay. But somewhere out there are those who speak your language, who value your depth, who don't just take, but give. Find them. Hold on to them. 3. Channel pain into purpose. INFJs feel deeply, but those feelings don't have to stay trapped inside, right? Create, advocate, turn your pain into art, wisdom, action. Your voice can change the world, but only if you use it. 4. Own your power. You don't have to shrink to make others comfortable. Let them be uncomfortable. It's not your job to make the world okay with your existence. You are here for a reason. Stand tall, speak boldly, and never apologize for being exactly who you are. The INFJ's silent revolution. So, why are INFJs so often misunderstood, underestimated, or even resented? Because they see what others cannot. Because their very existence challenges people to face their own reflections, the parts of themselves they'd rather ignore. INFJs are the ones who look beyond the surface, who question the unspoken rules, who shine a light where darkness has long been left unchallenged. But here's the secret. The world needs INFJs more than it knows. History's greatest visionaries, healers, and quiet revolutionaries carried the same burden you do. They, too, walk the fine line between wisdom and isolation, between kindness and exhaustion, between being seen as a guiding light and being cast aside as too much for the world to handle. But they didn't let that stop them, and neither should you. Because the truth is, you were never meant to blend in. You were not made to live a life of quiet suffering, to mold yourself into something smaller just so others feel comfortable. You were made to stand, to speak, to create, to lead, not always in the loudest way, but in the most profound. So, if you've spent your life feeling out of place, if you've been drained by those who take more than they give, if you've been silenced, overlooked, or misunderstood, let this be the moment you reclaim yourself. Set your boundaries like armor, use your words like fire. Let your presence be both a comfort and a reckoning. Take up space, not because the world gives you permission, but because you were born to. They may not always understand you. They may fear the depth of your insight, the weight of your vision. But that doesn't mean you should change, because the world doesn't need more people who conform. It needs more people who transform. And INFJs were born to transform the world. So, own your power, speak your truth, rise, because no matter how much the world tries to dim your light, they can never extinguish what was meant to burn. If this resonated with you, drop a comment and share your story, because your voice matters. Hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications if you're ready to step into your full power. The world needs INFJs to rise, so let's rise together. Until next time, stay bold, stay true, and never shrink yourself for anyone.